In today's video, we're going to be talking about the biggest problem that Grand Theft Auto Online has. No, it's not shark cards. No, it's not Grand Theft Auto Online servers. It's other players. So this is a really well done article written by Zach Zwiesen, who we've covered a couple of his articles before. He writes actually for Kotaku, and I'll leave a link to it in the description. I'm going to be reading a very cool post that he made, and I want to see if you agree with this. Is Grand Theft Auto Online's biggest problem the other players that you encounter? So he says, Grand Theft Auto Online has a problem, not with shark cards or servers, though many players aren't happy about those things, but with other players. Over the years, Grand Theft Auto Online has added content that has made other players some of the biggest hassles, and now much of the community is actively trying to avoid other players in a game built entirely around multiplayer. So again, this is from his perspective. A friend and I were driving across Los Santos in Grand Theft Auto Online a few months back. We were delivering some cars that we had stolen earlier that night, and now we were selling to an NPC buyer. It was a relatively simple mission. The less damage the car takes, the more money the CEO, myself, would get paid. So basically, he was doing an import-export mission if you weren't following along with that. Suddenly, we saw a jet icon on the minimap. We became nervous. Hopefully, they would just pass us by or not get close, we thought to ourselves. But moments later, the pilot buzzed us and fired a rocket at our cars, killing both of us in seconds. All that time and money wasted by one a-hole in a jet. This happens far too often in Grand Theft Auto Online, and many other frustrated players believe it's only getting worse. Grand Theft Auto Online was a very different game at launch. Most of my time in those early years was spent doing missions with friends, completing races, and losing death matches. These missions took place in private sessions outside the public lobbies of Grand Theft Auto Online. Content in the public lobby in the early days was limited to small distractions, like seeing a movie or robbing a convenience store. Getting killed in public lobby back then was annoying if you were trying to buy some clothes or just chill, but wasn't a huge frustration. He goes on to say things have changed greatly since those early days. We now have more content than ever, maybe too much. Some of the most popular content now is focused on making money. Businesses like gun running or drug dealing can make players a lot of cash, but these business missions have to be completed in public lobbies, which means you have to deal with other players. Many of these missions tag you on the map for all other players to see. The end result is that many players are targeted while simply trying to complete a mission. And as Rockstar has added more weaponized super vehicles to the game, like the recently added Oppressor Mark II, it's becoming harder and harder to make a dishonest living in Grand Theft Auto Online's public lobbies. Zach Zwiesen says, a question in the community continues to debate is exactly why some players are so focused on attacking and destroying others while they complete missions. There isn't much of a reward for attacking a shipment of drugs or a stolen car. In fact, it's financially more efficient to spend time doing business missions and shipments than to attack other players' businesses. Are these aggressive players just doing it to troll? And he does bring up a really good point. Like, it does take more time. It takes time away from you to be potentially making money if you do attack other players. So it just doesn't make sense. He goes on to say another problem that players point out is that attackers and trolls have a big advantage over the defenders in these missions and sales, which is 100% correct. Defenders are usually unable to pick their transport and drop-off point and only have one chance to complete the mission successfully. Attackers aren't on missions, so they don't have the same limitations or stakes. They have no restrictions on vehicles, they're in an open lobby and can bring anything they want. They can group up and take out a sole player. They can die as much as they want and respawn. And this all creates a scenario where a player might have to spend hours of days grinding to get a big shipment of weed or guns to sell, and another player can take all that hard work away in a matter of seconds. For many, and I agree here, this feels unfair and poorly balanced. Now, in response to these attackers and trolls, some Grand Theft Auto Online fans have figured out different ways to get around the public lobbies required to do business missions. One easy, popular method that I've personally used involves entering and exiting sessions until you've landed in an empty or almost empty public lobby. Another method I've used is to load up to a public lobby, have my character watch TV, and then do something else in the real world. Sometimes when I come back after an hour or two, the lobby will have emptied out considerably and I complete my missions in peace. Now, there are other ways to avoid players in Grand Theft Auto Online. Some players recommend changing network settings on your console to limit how many players can join your lobby, or unplug your Ethernet cable for a short amount of time to briefly cut off your internet connection. Searching YouTube will find hundreds of videos covering this topic on how to avoid public lobbies and ultimately find solo sessions. Now, not everyone is looking to be alone. Some players are just looking to avoid the trolls. Groups of passive and non-violent players have formed, and these group sessions join together and promise only to help or ignore other players. Now, this method adds benefits as the lobby is filled with players who will reward players for completing business missions with more cash, whereas attacking trolls don't get any bonus reward. Now, Red Dead Redemption 2 will have multiplayer, though we don't know much about it. Grand Theft Auto Online has obviously been a huge success for Take-Two Interactive and Rockstar, and hopefully they'll look into it about players who might interact with RDR2's multiplayer. Perhaps Grand Theft Auto Online's griefers will inspire Rockstar to make RDR2 Online's experience better. Bethesda's upcoming Fallout 76 has anti-griefing mechanics that do sound promising, and maybe something similar could help fans from feeling like they have to avoid other players in a multiplayer game. So that's the end of his article right there, and I want to hear from you guys in the comments down below. I'm also going to give you my thoughts and opinion. I think Zach Sweezen is 100% right. I mean, Grand Theft Auto Online has just turned into a massive sort of destroy other players simulator, not multiplayer. And there's a lot of different reasons for this. Number one is the content Rockstar has added into the game: jets, flying bikes, hover cars, rocket-powered super vehicles, etc. That's obviously going to encourage players to use them. And number two, Rockstar also encourages players to take action like this. You know, they give you notifications on the screen. They give you phone calls saying, you know, hey, if you destroy this guy's stuff, you'll get extra money. And they also encourage it by making it only available in public lobbies. You know, this has got to be a private session thing. I don't know why Rockstar is so inclined on, you know, making your most valuable business decisions only available to be done in lobbies where there could potentially be 29 other bloodthirsty players. To me, that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Do you think Grand Theft Auto Online's biggest problem is its other players? I certainly do, and I agree with the article that was written by Zach. But like I said, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Let me know your opinions and more. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.